Hey guys, we're back in the general. Couple of updates. I've got my dome light wired in. You can see the switch right here. Just reach in, pop it on, and the lights come on. So it actually does have some good light coverage in there. Actually works out really well. Again, I purchased these off Amazon, and what I've done with the rest of them is I've got my backup lights on. I haven't quite got them wired in. You can actually see the wires still hanging down. But what I've done to wire them in is I just drilled through down here. Just did some careful measuring. By the way, like my new sticker there, side by side vlog, represent. Anyway, drilled in the holes here and just popped them in. These are LED bolt lights. And this panel here, basically this panel, it pops in. There's a single screw on the end. You remove that, and then this panel just literally pops right out. And this is I believe this is a T40. Yeah, T40. Pop that off, and then you've got an access hole here. You don't have to remove the brake light. I did. There's two 10mm bolts that are in here. Those will come right off just to give me a little bit more room. And if you can see down in there, might be a little dark, but what I did is I went ahead and for the lights, I pulled ground off of the brake lights here. I went ahead and pulled the ground, so the only wire I'm running down here is the power, which is going to run to that lead that's on top of the engine. And that's what I'm going to be doing next, is getting down here to I'll have to pull out my meter, but it's one of these here. I just have to get power to that. And again, these are LEDs, ultra fine wires, so very low volt draw. But what I'm going to do is I'll wire this in. I'm going to come over here to this connector here. I'll probably go ahead and do some sort of disconnect right here in case I want to remove the bed. In fact, I may actually remove the bed to hide the wires and do some other stuff back here. But I'm going to remove, basically connect through here and then come back to this connector here, and we'll wire it in. By the way, and I've mentioned this before, my machine is a 2018. This is where they relocated the turf mode solenoid, so it's already been moved away from the heat. Just thought I'd note that while we're in here. But I'm just about done with the backup lights, and like I said, I got finished with the dome light. I did check the battery. I do have it wired in directly to the battery, so it's just a single LED. So again, should be very low voltage draw. I'm gonna be playing around with that, but I've got my battery charger plugged in. I plugged it in not even 5 minutes ago, and it's showing full charge. So I think I'm good there. Also got my sidebysideblog.com sticker up front here, and do have a few other stickers I'm going to be putting on. I've got my Razorback gauge. They sent a really nice quality sticker to put on. I haven't done that one quite yet. And I still have my A-arm guides and my frame stiffener I got to put on as well. Just to kind of show you what I've done. So this wire here, this is my power that's going to my reverse lights on each side. This one coming here, and then this one coming from this side over here. And what I've done is I did remove these screws here so I could just pull this panel forward. It didn't come off. I think it's actually held on completely underneath the bar here. But I didn't remove it, but it was enough to get it in here and slide it in. And then I had some spare, the sleeving. It's rated to, I think it's like 105 degrees Celsius. So this was left over from some of my other wiring harness work. It actually came from one I got off Amazon. I didn't use it. So I just used that since I had it laying around. Basically what I did is I put the wire through that just to give it a little bit additional shielding from both heat as well as any kind of rubbing that it might do. Come to this point, and then what I'll do is I'm going to junction the two wires here and put a disconnect on it so that if I remove the bed, I can easily remove it. So I'll do that here, and then once that's done, I can put the bed back on. And then, as I mentioned before, so looking at the engine from the top, what I'll do is I'll wire in to this wire here. Again, I gotta figure out which one is the power again, but once I do that, I'll run it up to this same point here, and there'll be my disconnect for removing the bed. But I'll fill you back in once I get all done, but it's looking good so far. Thanks. Okay, so update on the reverse lights. So I've got them installed, and the wiring works. Everything's good there. I got the bed back on, which, by the way, you will definitely need a second pair of hands to get the bed back on. The problem is that the lights are staying on completely all the time. They do shut off after a while after you turn the key off, but I haven't figured that out yet. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, update on the reverse lights. I got them working. I found this graphic on Polaris General Forums, and then this note from a long slide about the connection. This was actually, I forget which user, but anyway, this is the correct wiring. Basically, these two, 30 and 85, these go to the positive that's sitting on top of the engine. Number 86 becomes your negative trigger, and then this goes out to the light. So I've got the lights working now. So I got the relay here, and so it connects to, originally these are the two wires. I've got them loomed in here, but these are the two wires that are on the vehicle from the factory. So they're wired in to the relay, and then I go out to my harness here, and this is a disconnect. I've got some tape on it just for protection, but you can pull the tape off and disconnect it if I want to remove the bed. So that's all done, and now I'll turn on power to the vehicle, and you can see the lights come on when I shift it into reverse, go back into park, and the lights go out. So everything is working just like I want. It is nice and bright. It'd be interesting to kind of see in the dark how well they actually light up. It's mainly for notification of anyone that might be standing behind the vehicle that I'm backing up. And then also too, I already did the post about my dome light, and I got all that working. So I'm now just about finished. At some point I will be putting a turn signal kit on the vehicle. Not really in a hurry. In the state of Georgia, it's not required. You don't have to make the vehicle street legal in order to drive it on the street. So I'm pretty much done with everything, other than maybe just some tidying up and whatnot. But thanks everyone for hanging in there, and I appreciate the comments and you watching the videos. Thanks.